again, Buffoon, and welcome back to another video. Now today, I decided to switch it up a little bit, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be telling a story. Now, today, I'm going to be telling a story about the time that I was trapped in like a little batting cage thing with my friend. So let's get into the video, guys. So, this all started off when I was in grade 4, and my friend who got stuck with me was in grade 5. And then his brother, we were hanging out with his brother and him, and he was in grade 3, right? And so what happened is we all had gone to, I don't know if it was 7-Eleven, or no, not all of us. Before they had come, like, hung out with me, they went to 7-Eleven or Max. I think it was 7-Eleven because it was closer to their house, but it might have been Max. But so what happened is there was this green batting cage thing by our school that we'd always hang out by, right? And like we'd always like climb on top of it and just like chill there. And we'd always hang out on top of this and just like chill on top of it, right? So what happened is we were chilling on top of it one day, and so I had to go like an hour to 2 hours to 3 hours after this, right? So what happened is we're just chilling on there, and then my friend, the younger one, the one in grade 3, drops his candy into onto the net in the little batting cage, and he can't like reach through because like it's the fence and the hole in the fence wasn't big enough, right? So what happened is there was like on the side there was like little like holes and stuff that you could get into it through there, right? So my friend then made his brother go inside of it to get his candy. Now, he went inside and he got him his candy and gave it to him. He opened it up, started eating it. And then my friend couldn't get out. The older one, he couldn't get out. So he was stuck in there for around 30 minutes to an hour just trying to get out. And then eventually, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go in there, try and help him get out, right? So I go in there, and so I go and I stand on the net. I'm like, hey, come up here, right? So he comes up onto the net. We're both standing on the net. And I'm trying to like lift him up to like where like the little hole is to get out and stuff. And then the net breaks and I drop him. Alright, he falls on the net, which is like being hung out of support, right? But the one side of the net broke, and so since I was the one standing up, I dropped him. I fell, rolled off, and fell onto the concrete, and my friend landed safely on the net. And I asked him, I'm like, "Are you good? Are you good and stuff?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm good." And he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I got up, right? So that didn't work, and I was like, "Okay then. Well, let's try and find another way out." So then what happened is we were just thinking of ways to get out. We're thinking ways to get out. And eventually, we gave up and we just started making as much noise as possible, hoping like, hey, maybe somebody would hear us, because we didn't have any phones or anything on us, right? So we started making as much noise as possible, banging and stuff, hoping that somebody would hear us, right? Now this lady, she came and she heard us and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, we got stuck in here because like he dropped his candy in here, and so he made him go in here to get it. And then after like 30 minutes of him being stuck in here, I came in to try to get him out, and it didn't work out so well. So what happened is she was like, "Okay, well, stop banging. People are thinking like you're like trying to break in or something." I'm like, "No, we're trying to break out." She's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna call the city and stuff to get you out and stuff." And so she calls I don't know if she called the cops or like actually like called the city, because she told me, she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna call the city to get you guys out of here." I'm like, the city? She's like, "Yeah, the city." I'm just like, you can call the city? What? I didn't even know that you could like that was a thing. Keep in mind I was grade 4, so yeah, I was stupid. Still I am, but I mean I was stupider, right? So basically she calls them. Don't know if she called the cops or the city. I have no idea. But what happens is she calls them and then she just walks away. She's like, "All right, they should be here soon, right? I'm gonna go back." And so she goes back, right? And so then what happens is we're just like there just chilling, waiting, right? And then a police car shows up, and a police officer walks out of the car, and so he comes up, he's like, how'd you guys get in here? And so we explained the whole story to him about how his friend dropped his candy. We went in there to get it for him and stuff, and then so he's like, alright, well, can't you get in the same way, or can't you get out the same way you got in? We're like, no, because it's up there, and like, because it's up there, right, we're not really able to climb out there and stuff. And he's like, okay. So what he did is, and so by this time, right, my mom and my grandma show up because they're there to like take me somewhere, right? I can't remember where we were going after this, but they were there to take me somewhere. So what he does is he gets like pliers, right, and he cuts open the fence, like the bottom of the fence, and so we just like army crawl under the bottom of the fence, and then what happens is we get out and everything, and he's like, okay, and so he talks to my mom and everything, right, and then I went over and I explained the whole story to my mom and stuff, and so yeah, that's basically how I got stuck in a batting cage for like an hour or two. It was really boring. If your brother or your friend ever drops candy into a fence batting cage, just don't get it for them, because I mean, you don't want to end up stuck like I like we were, right? So yeah, especially if like just like nobody, like everybody just keeps walking past, right? Because like we were lucky that lady even like cared enough to come over and see what's going on. If she didn't, we probably would have been there until my mom came by and saw us and was like, what are you doing in there, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what happened, and yeah, that's pretty much the whole story. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave this video off here, guys. If you liked it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. I waited like a couple days in December, and then I finally went to go record. Now, in December, when I went to go record, I recorded the first video, alright? First video, I can't remember what happened to it. I think that it was really bad quality, so I decided not to go with it, and I decided to like, just scrap it, right? So then, the second time I tried, I got the same thing. Now the third time that I tried to do this, right, it messed up. In my editing software, when I actually put it into the editing software, what happened is, like, instead of, when I synced up all the audio,